Welcome back to the 5-minute masterclass with myself, Mikey McGuire. In the last couple of episodes, we've looked at the kind of 10,000 foot view of this system that I normally put artists through at the very start. Now we've not gone into the weeds. We haven't even kind of landed on the roof. We've just looked at the overall high level mindset stuff. You want to build more connections. You want to pitch them in a different way than you currently are, and you want to back it up by telling your story properly on social so that when you do pitch these people and they reach out, they like what they see. And so we repeat this cycle. So I'm going to go deeper over the next couple of episodes on how we actually do these things, but before we move on to that, I want to stop with the caveat. Hold on, I'm actually going to pause the podcast for a second because there's about 60 million lads in hats drilling the absolute fuck out of next door, so I'm going to close the window. There we go, I'm back. No editing to be done here. I'm just there's no pre-planning on these podcasts. There's no editing. We just wing them and I spill the guts. So what were we talking about? Okay, so yeah, we were talking about the overarching strategies. Before we move on to those, we kind of drill into the weeds. I want to stop and kind of put a breaker in here and say, for any DJs that are starting on this process and you're going, okay, I want to fix my bookings. Before we start down this nurture road of building out a hit list of promoters, pitching them in the right way and getting our social sorted, we need to realize that we have a second option. Now, this isn't an alternative option. This should be a to-do as well option. And that's running your own gigs. Ask any DJ worth their salt. I read an interview from Carl Cox recently, and it was his advice as well to young DJs starting out. If you want to start booking gigs, playing regularly, playing consistently, honing your craft, you should be running your own events. You should be throwing your own parties. The beautiful thing about this is it becomes a completely different pitch. It becomes a completely different way of attacking it, because if you wanted to, let's say there's a club in your hometown, let's say I'm in Birmingham in the UK right now, let's say there's a club in Birmingham that you wanted to play. Well, let's say there's 7 promoters that are running really good parties in this club that you might want to play. Now, you can try and infiltrate any of those 7 promoters. You can try and use any of the tactics that we're about to discuss over the upcoming episodes with these promoters. Try and nurture them, trying to get in there and try to get yourself some bookings. The other option is you could go directly to the club owner and you could pitch them on becoming the 8th promoter. And you don't need to have, that might seem for some a little bit scary, because maybe those other 7 promoters have big followings, they've big cliques around them, they're booking big artists, and you think they've got big budgets and they've got big followings on social. I didn't say go in and be the number 1 promoter, but you can easily go in and start promoting. Hey, let's say a lot of clubs will have a main room and a second room, and then they'll have, the third room at the entrance or upstairs, which is a little bit smaller. You can start by just promoting parties in that small room. And it doesn't need to be on your own dedicated night. Quite often you'll have 3 promoters running 3 different rooms, So if you're small, you can approach it and say, hey, I would love to host the third room or the smaller second room. You can go off, set a collective up. It doesn't have to be just you. You can find 3 or 4 like-minded DJs from the city that also want to get involved. And now you've got a small little team behind you. It becomes easier to promote. It becomes easier to do everything. Now you're pitching the collective to the club. And it's a different pitch when you're pitching the venue owner. The venue owner isn't booking you off usually your musical momentum like a promoter would be. The venue owner just wants to know one thing. Quite often it's, are you going to do what you say you'll do? Are you going to bring people to the door? Are you going to help the venue make money? Are you going to be a giant pain in the arse that they regret working with? All of these questions are running through the promoter's minds, because you got to bear in mind there's going to be a sea of momentarily motivated DJs that really want to run their own night and really want to do this and really want to do that, and they'll have shown up and they'll have promised the sun, moon and stars, and they will have done absolutely fuck all, and the night will have gone awful. It would have been a headache for the promoter, or the club owner. He will have sworn never again. And then on the other hand, you'll have promoters that are just, they put in the graft and they've got a good crew and they'll have sold loads of tickets and it'll have been a great event. And so when you go to the club owner with your pitch, he's going to be wondering, or she's going to be wondering, which bucket is this person falling into? Are they going to do what they say they do? Or are they going to be all bluff and are they going to disappear and really they don't have what it takes? And so all you need to do is have your ducks in a row and make sure that you will do what you say you'll do. You will promote. You will get a team together to get behind the event. You will show up on time. You won't wreck the equipment. You will be a good ambassador for the club. You're going to do something exciting and you're going to follow through on it. And if you can promise those things, they'll usually take a chance on you. They'll usually give you a go. And again, as we go deeper into these podcasts, we can run through specific strategies and I can direct you to some of the trainings that we have elsewhere that can show you exactly how to do this. But this is a nice way of getting into a club on a regular basis, getting behind a booth with a dance floor in front of you on a regular basis and honing your craft and building your own brand and build something that's bigger than you. I mean, if you look at any of the big artists, Jamie Jones has Paradise and Hot Creations. Adam Pear has Drum Coats. Enzo has Fuse. You know, most of the artists that come up, you'll see they have a brand alongside them the whole way that they've been running, and it can pull you along with it. You know, you don't have to get big first and then launch a brand. If you launch a brand now and run parties and do things, it's putting you out into the world. It's making it easier to inject you into clubs, into festivals, into audiences' minds. So quite often, setting up a good party can pull you forward much quicker than you could pull a party forward. And so I highly recommend it. It should be a no-brainer. So before we move on to how to actually go out there and play other people's parties, I just wanted to plant that seed into your head that you should be considering this as well. And if you do the two together, well, now you're rolling. So in tomorrow's episode, we're going to get stuck into the process of how do we actually put this system into play? How do we actually start to book these gigs consistently on a regular basis and do it in a way that's cool for us? We don't feel sleazy. We don't feel salesy, because I did mention it was a sales process, but you don't want to seem salesy. You just want to have conversations with promoters and book great gigs. So we're going to hop into that in the next episode. This has been the 5-Minute Masterclass. I'll see you soon. Hey, thanks for watching my video. If you've made it this far, please do me a favor. Like, subscribe so you can get all the future content, and let me know in the comments what you thought of this video. But more importantly, if you're a DJ that wants to get more bookings, if you want to lock in better clubs, better festivals, and more of them, I want to give you the system that we use to do this with DJs. I want to give you the full blueprint, all the training to run you through it, and any of the tools and templates that you need. There's a link in the description down below where you can go and get it now for free. Go help yourself. Let me help you. Let's get you booked together. The link is below. Did I mention like and subscribe? Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.